So we are back for part 2 of CV and platforms that you can apply for a CV. Cool. So Mishak was still going through details and what your CV actually needs to look like, right?
Yes, definitely. So I was on languages. I hope you guys got it. Now, the chronology or job history is very important that you have a short snippet.
What's chronology?
Chronology would be a short, or rather a short job history that you will have for all the companies that you've worked for.
Okay.
So you call it job history or employment history, whatever the case. It's just a chronology. It's just a short snippet. For an example, I've worked for company X from this date to this date. Okay. Company B from this date to this date. Company C from this date to this date. Now remember that the most recent one was the one that will go on top.
Oh.
And the first job that you worked for, or rather you did, it must be at the bottom.
At the bottom. Oh, because I think a lot of people do it the other way around. So if you worked in 2003, they put that one first.
No.
And then, okay, so it's the recent one.
Yes.
At the top.
It's a bit of a mess. So this is what happens when you put your first company right on top. Your first company, when you were starting in the industry, you had a title of an intern, for an example.
Yes.
And then I'm looking for financial manager. So it sort of tells me that you are still currently an intern. So if I don't go on the dates, chances are I will miss that.
Oh,
do you understand? What's most recent is most relevant, so must go on top.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the chronology will have all those companies you've worked for, the positions and the duration, the date.
Yes.
So the duration must stipulate 1st of March 2016 to 1st of October or 30th of October 2017. It must have that.
Okay.
All right. And then that's just the chronology.
On the chronology, I want to find out. I've seen a lot of people write reason for leaving. So like if you worked from like company A to company Z during this time, should you put it why you left the company? Is that
at the chronology? Not necessarily.
It's not important.
No, it's not important. Just put that, and then you will have your actual job history, when now you are going in detail.
Oh, so that's different from the chronology. Okay.
That's different. Okay. So the chronology will just be a short description of what it is that you've done.
Okay.
Since you started working over the years.
So it's just a brief, to motivate you to carry on reading my CV.
Yes, it's just a brief. So basically, it's just a brief explanation of what it is you've done, or description, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So I've stipulated the date, must have start and end date. Now, on the job history itself, now then you will have company A, which is your most recent company, right under the chronology.
Yes.
This is where now you're putting in the job descriptions. You will say company X, I've worked there from this day to this day still, and then you will put in your job description. Now, it's very important that you have a job description. A job description is what it is you are doing at that particular company, or what it is that you've done at that particular company, because then it helps us to know what it is that you are able to do.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So, for an example, certain companies will have different titles for the same position.
Yes.
Now, what will help us, or rather what will enable us to see that you would be able to do this job, even though your title is not the same as my client's title, is your job description, what it is that you're doing. So it helps us a lot. You will put that in bullet point. Guys, it's very important that your CV must be neat. Not 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it in bullet point. It makes much more neat.
So not commas and
paragraph. Yo, don't do that. Guys, don't put it as a paragraph, because then it seems as though you want to tell us a story. And on your job description, you cannot say to us, I was responsible for this, and then I went to do this, and then I went to do... No. Put it in bullet points, in a nice bullet point to say, for an example, sourcing of CVs, screening of CVs, telephonic interviews.
Yes. So it's in detail aligning to the job.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. And then you will just under your job description, on the same company, you will still have reason for leaving. Now, just after the job description in bullet points, and then you will put not that the reason for leaving cannot be on a bullet point, so it must be on its own. Put it on reason for leaving,
Okay.
and then you put that. Then what you can do, guys, for the second company that will follow that, you can just literally put a line in between so that you can see now it's a separate company.
Okay, I want to talk about the reason for leaving. How important is that? And you know, there's a lot of reasons, like the manager could have been nasty, whatever the case is. How important is that to you? Like, do you guys need that information?
Guys, it's very important to remain professional at all times. So, like our politicians will say, remain diplomatic. So, you could have left your company because you and your manager
we're not
getting along. Yeah. But you can't put that on your CV.
On the CV.
No, you can't. So the reason for leaving is very important to be put on the CV. Why? Because, for an example, you've got candidate Sibusiso Todeti, whatever his name is, who's worked literally for 5 companies in a period of 2 years.
Sure.
So that sounds bad. That looks bad to me.
To you guys, yes.
It looks bad to my client. So I might not shortlist you because you didn't put the reasons for leaving. But your reasons could be that you were on a contract on each and every company you worked for over the last 2 years.
So you're not employed full time, but you kept on getting fired all the time.
Yes, so not particularly getting fired, but just that your contract has lapsed. You get what I'm saying? So yes. So if you don't put reasons for leaving, we will take it as though this one is a job hopper. No, but then your reasons will stipulate. If your reasons stipulate that I'm on contract, guys, we will do references. So do not lie on your CV.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that if you put it that you were on a 6-month contract, you were on a 3-month contract, then it will make us see that, oh, actually you're not a job seeker. It's just that you have not been fortunate to get a permanent role.
Okay. And I think as recruiters, because you guys want to do a good job for your clients, it is important for you guys to find candidates that will ideally stay at the clients that you guys are giving them to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Remember, like I said, we've got a guarantee period with this, and an agreement with them to say if you stay for an X amount of months or less than X amount of months, then you're gonna have to fill in that particular position for free. Now that's a problem to us because it means that we are doing a job that we should have closed.
Oh.
It's time. So you must put in reasons for leaving so that people don't just discredit you or that they don't overlook you and you find that you've just been on fixed term contracts or just 6 months contracts, short contracts.
Right.
Another thing, references, guys. You have to reach a certain point or a certain level in your career whereby now it's no longer required for you to put reasons for leaving, and then you will say references, and then you will say references available on request. Like I am saying.
Do people say that?
Yes, we definitely.
Okay.
You must be at a certain level in your career for you to say that. It doesn't make any sense for me as a recruiter to say references available on request.
I hear what you're saying.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But it does make sense for a VP
to say
that.
You must know where you are.
Yes, so you must understand where you are. So it's very, very important that you put your references. Now, keep in touch with your references. So you will find that 90% of the time, before we are about to conduct the reference checks, we will contact you to say, listen, who can we reach to give us references? Yes.
Okay.
So there must be people that we can also reach, because if we can't reach those people, then what is the point of putting them there?
Okay. And what happens if the person I put as a reference for a company 4 years ago doesn't work there anymore?
It's okay. So the reference does not have to come from the person who's working at that particular organization, because people move.
So it's a person ideally you worked under.
People are somebody who knows you ideally reported into directly.
Okay.
Because that person will be able to give us the reference that we're looking for. Sure. Guys, don't give us references from your friends or your colleagues. That person did not look after you when you were at that particular organization, so they wouldn't be able to give us the references that we're looking for, they wouldn't be able to say to us that, well, this person's performance was this way and this way, because they don't have access to that.
Okay, that makes sense. So they wouldn't be able to give the information that you guys actually need.
Yes.
Okay, that's important. Is there anything else that we need to remember on our CVs?
And know your CV.
So I told you the story before. I once interviewed somebody. I think they got their CV done 2 years ago. And as I was interviewing them, this person actually had no idea in the order of his CV. When did he work then as a chef? When was he a receptionist there? He had no idea. It's like the CV and what he was saying are two different things. So it's really important when you say that people should actually really know their CV.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So I quite like the fact that we've kind of gotten down to platforms that you can send your CV and how to actually put your CV. How do people send CVs? Like if you see a post and you're meant to send a CV, what are things that recruiters look for when you send your CV? Do you just say, hi, Mishak, please see attached for this job post? So what do I need to include when I send you my CV?
So for my job ads, for an example, some will have references, some will not. Some, for an example, I'll be posting a job at a certain platform.
Yes.
That particular platform will then have your profile. So when you apply, for an example, with LinkedIn, if you get a job that is suitable for you, it just gives you an option to say easy apply.
Yes.
So when a recruiter or an employer, receives an application, it will have all the details. So whereby we would have said send through your email, rather send through your CV via email. It's just good day.
Yeah.
And then if we've asked you to put a reference on the subject, then put that reference on the subject so that we can then identify your email as that particular application for that particular post.
Okay.
So it's very important for people to read that. I mean, usually it's very small, very short. It will generally give you instructions on how to apply and what to put there. If they requested you, a page, rather a CV that's less than 4 pages, please make sure that your CV is less than 4 pages. If they've requested you to send a cover letter, please do that. So always go refer to what is needed or what is a prerequisite on your application, of the application. But generally, keep if you're just applying for an example, we've got generic email addresses for companies that will say recruitment@woohoo.com with the children's ZN. It's always very important to just say application, and then for whatever position you are applying for, put it in brackets, whatever as the subject. I mean, good day, please find attached my CV for this particular application. Thank you. Done.
That's interesting. I'm learning a lot. And lastly, how do recruiters find people's CVs? Do you guys find them on these platforms? Okay, so you just need to be registered with these platforms, and then it's more accessible. So then do I need to come directly to you and register with you? Is that beneficial now for me to register through you as a recruitment agency?
There are companies. I mean, on most companies that are recruitment agencies, we have email, rather what you call this. We have websites that will enable you to register with us. So whichever recruitment agency you want to register with, go to their website. They will have their details there. They will either have their email address where you can just send their CV, your CV to, or they will have a different a different tab where you will register with them, and then they will have your details. But remember this, guys, recruitment agencies can only contact you if you meet what they need at that particular moment in time.
They don't contact you that, please fix your CV, we don't like this. It's just only if you meet the requirement and then you are contacted. Cool. I really think we've covered so much in this video. It actually became 2 videos, and thank you guys for watching. We will be coming through with a 3rd video, literally the last video talking about interviews, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Bye.